Welcome to Ahmed International School. This is Ahmed Hamdan, going to be asking everyone questions about FIFA, with the FIFA Club 2022. Hi, this is Maamora, one of the greatest students we have in our school. Okay, so Maamor, how do you think Qatar got the 2022?
I think they saw the few years that happens before, and they saw the upgradings that are happening, and they think until 2022, Qatar will be compared with New York City.
But you know that we're 12 other countries with Qatar in the competition, but Qatar could beat all of them easily.
Qatar beat them all because, like, if you compare the upgrading, let's say in Qatar and another country, you will see that Qatar is upgrading like 300% more than the other country. That's why.
That's actually the kind of point of view. Thank you, Mahmoud Al-Atma. This is Mahmoud Al-Atma with us, and he really helped us. And see you later. Now we're gonna ask a teacher. This is Mr. Usman. Mr. Usman, can you take 1 minute of your time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir. So what do you teach, sir?
I teach English.
Nice. We're gonna ask you some questions about FIFA 2022, and let's see if you can answer. 3. Do you think Qatar will have everything ready by 2022?
I think things like stadiums and shopping malls, that won't be hard. What will be difficult is getting public transport sorted. If they can get that sorted, then we'll do well.
Thanks. Other question is, how do you think the weather will affect the players' pitch?
Okay, well, the pitch, obviously, I think they would have to make sure that it doesn't dry out. As far as players go, they just need to make sure that they're hydrated. They need to make sure that stadiums are ventilated and they have air conditioning. Otherwise, playing football in 45 degrees heat, it's not going to be good.
Thank you, sir. Do you think that the innovation of technology will inspire us and everyone?
I hope so. I mean, like in all sports, not just football, like technology is improving, and I'm a huge fan of cricket, and cricket technology is amazing nowadays. And I think for the sport, it will be good because it will probably have a long-term impact on the way we watch the game, and also the way that media companies broadcast football from now on.
Yeah, but sir, we have heard that Qatar will make fly cameras that can fly to record everything without wires. Do you think that the weather can affect that? You know, how heat the weather is, that might affect
I think whoever invents that kind of technology, they'll take weather into account. But I think it'll be good because that kind of technology will give people a new way to watch football. Like, we'll be able to watch football played in a way that we haven't been able to do before. So if that is something that carries on happening after Qatar 22, yeah, it's excellent.
Thank you, sir, for your minutes, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. Now we're going to interview with Miss Charlotte. Hey, Miss Charlotte.
Hi.
Can we take 1 minute of your time?
Of course you can.
Thank you. Do you think Qatar will have any issues that might cause Qatar to lose the 2022?
At this moment in time, the alcohol issue is going to be a problem, especially with British citizens, as we are used to being able to drink wherever we want, whenever we want, and obviously that isn't the case here. So I'd be interested to see what they're going to do. I've heard about designated drinking zones, but I don't think they're going to be able to police that, and people will drink where they want to drink.
Yeah.
And then what are they going to do?
Sure.
Another thing is, women, what are they going to be allowed to wear what they want? In Brazil, did they have it in Brazil?
Yeah.
They were in bras and knickers. There was a big thing about, especially in England, the cameramen. In each game, they'd zoom in on an attractive woman and they'd watch them.
Like, in the game.
And in the middle of the game, a cameraman would stop filming the game and film this woman. Yeah. And it was a massive thing in England about it, on Twitter, on Facebook, like, oh, look at the hottie in this match. And they're not going to be able to do that here.
Yeah, sure. The
heat as well, 48 degrees. Like, I've been here, I was here at the end of June last year, and it was unbearable. It was ridiculous. So
players won't be able to play, like, you know, skills and stuff in 48 degrees.
It's going to be ridiculous. So, and you can't move something like the World Cup to winter. You can't do that. Obviously, the West celebrate Christmas. A lot of them celebrate. They're not going to want to. They're not going to come here over, like, in the winter. Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. It will be interesting to see. But then again, they've got the money to do what they want to do.
So really, Miss, thank you for your time, Miss. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we're gonna interview with Miss Jean. Miss Jean?
Hi.
How are you, Miss?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Miss,
How about?
Miss, we're very great, Miss. We're gonna ask you some questions about the 2022, Miss.
Okay.
You answer. Okay. Miss, do you think it would be better if it was earlier or later?
I think that the timing is just right because at the moment there's a lot of things that need to be done. There's still roads being built, a lot of infrastructure needs to happen, and it seems like it's happening, but making it earlier would mean that we'd be running out of time. So making it later on, like 2022, seems like a realistic time to do.
Yeah, because Miss, they promised they're gonna make a lot of great stuff, Miss, for us.
Like what?
Water taxis, flying cameras, Miss.
Wow, that sounds, yeah, but 2022 sounds like a more
Yeah, sounds
realistic
like
target.
more better.
Yeah, a realistic
than
target.
earlier, so they can have their time and make the best.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss. Another question, Miss, if you don't mind. Do you think that? Do you, Miss? How will?
Okay, just say it again. We'll just edit it.
So, Miss, we'll ask you this question. How do you think that our world culture, Miss, will interfere with Qatar? The world,
Cup.
you know, the cup and stuff.
How do I think it will affect Qatar?
Yeah, Miss.
I think it's going to be one of those. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a good thing or a bad. Not bad, but it might affect it in different ways. If you're looking at it in terms of economically, like the culture, you know, Qatar will bring a lot of tourists as well as the people coming to watch the World Cup. A lot of money can be gained, you know, the gross national, you know, income can increase because people are coming in, they're spending money on hotels and stuff like that. In terms of, and it gives Qatar a lot of exposure. So people will be like, you know, usually when you're away from somewhere, like when I'm in England sometimes, I say I live in Qatar, and people are like, where? So that will give it a lot more exposure. And then people will be more aware of the culture. In terms of the effect on the culture here whilst the World Cup is going on, I think a lot of thought needs to go into how it will be something international will be integrated into the culture here, because Qatar is quite strict.
Yes.
It's quite strict with its culture, not with its culture necessarily, but rules and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Whereas a lot of, obviously, you've got world countries, different internationally, coming together where they're a lot more liberal. So
More
it's
free.
a lot more free, a lot more liberal. So that means it's important for Qatar to lay some rules down, but also to think about the fact that there are other people coming in.
So it must be 50-50.
It's a 50. It's about balance.
Yeah.
People need to definitely remember that they're in a country that's a lot more strict and more conservative, and we need to respect the culture. But at the same time, people need to be able to the Qataris need to understand that because they put the bid in for this and they've won it, that those things will be coming in. You know, different cultures will be coming into the country, different understandings of things, different beliefs. So it's a balance. It's all about balance, really. Okay.
Thank you, Miss, for your time, Miss. We really appreciate it. Miss Gina was with us now, and she gave us the greatest answer ever.
Thank you.
ما هي المشاكل التي قد تتعرضها قطر بهدف الحصول على كأس العالم 2022؟
اوكي، اول شيء هي عامله كثير بلانز انه بدها تعمر الملعب، بدها تعمر بيلدينجز، بدها تغير الهاي ويز، فهدول كثير بريشر. هل ممكن هم يلحقوا يعملوا كل هالشيء قبل ما يجي الورلد كاب ولا لا؟ اذا ما لحقوا يعملوهم ما بيقدروا يعملوا الورلد كاب هون، بعدين هن ما مؤسسين حتى مثلا من هالسنين اجى شتي كثير فجأة، ما حاضرين اساسات تحت الارض، سو يمكن هالشيء يخرب لها ويقولوا انه هن ما قادرين يعملوا الورلد كاب لانه الاساسات اللي هي البيسكس ليكون عندنا فوتبول جيم مش موجوده. بعدين في اوتيلات تستوعب عدد من العالم يمكن بدهم يجوا يحضروا الورلد كاب، ففي اوبليجيشنز كثير على قطر، وقت كثير قليل والشغل منه up to the level يعني يقدروا يخلصوا. فهي هي biggest question mark. They promised a lot. هل حيقدروا يوفوا بوعودهم أم لا؟
شكرا. هل تعتقد أن كأس العالم 2022 سوف يؤثر إيجابيا على الرياضة في قطر؟
أكيد راح يأثر إيجابيا، لأن أول شيء راح يكون في كثير منشآت رياضية راح تضلها بالبلد وراح يضلهم يستخدموها بالبلد، غير هيك الشعب أو الناس راح يصيروا أوعى عن موضوع الرياضة، وأصلا هون أوريدي يعني في اهتمام بالرياضة، بس هي المنشآت الرياضية وهي الشغلات كثير راح تساعد.
شكرا. هل أنت متحمس لمعرفة أحداث كأس العالم 2022 في قطر ولماذا؟
صراحة متحمس. طبعا ما في شك انه قطر حتكون يعني قد الشغلة هاي وحتكون تنظيمها حابب اشوف كيف حيكون التنظيم وكيف الملاعب، عم بيبنوا ملاعب كثير كبيره يعني في دراسات انه كيف يهيئوا حالنا لكاس العالم شيء كثير كبير يعني من ملاعب وتنظيم ومطارات بصراحه متحمس لاشوف هاي الشغلات هاي كيف حيكونوا تنظيميا فيها والشغلات هاي يعني.
شكرا.
عفوا.
هل أنت متحمسة لمعرفة أحداث كأس العالم 2022 في قطر ولماذا؟
طبعا اني متحمسة مع انني لا احب مباراة كرة القدم، ولكن سوف يتم انتهازها فرصة لمشاهدة هذا الحدث بما انه لا يحصل دائما في مناطق او دول العربية.
Teachers and students, just like everyone else in Qatar, are extremely excited for the FIFA 2022. Having said that, the country has a long way on getting things done ready, especially public transport. This is Ahmed Hamdan recording for junior reporter Al Hikma International School, Maamora branch.